Hey, what's going on, guys? Jake Boley with Barbend.com. Today we're going to be reviewing and looking at the SPRI Kettlebell. SPRI is a fitness company that makes a variety of fitness equipment. One of their areas of specialties is in kettlebells. So today we're going to be looking at their 50-pound vinyl coated kettlebell, and we're going to be breaking down the construction, the price, who could benefit, and also we're going to do a performance test with and without chalk. So now let's talk construction. From afar, this kettlebell may look like every other kettlebell we've seen, but now let's take a closer look. Alright, so to begin, this is a full cast iron kettlebell like many on the market. There's a vinyl coating around the outside of the bell. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker. That's kind of to help avoid dropping it on the floor and breaking the floor or the kettlebell for that matter. It's supposed to be a little bit more comfortable when it hits the wrist and stuff during movements. There's a SPRI branding up here in the front. On the back, it's 50 pounds. There is no engraving, but granted the vinyl coating is supposed to be color coded, so it kind of helps you pick out the color if this ever were to fade. The handle has a smoother finish. They said that the handle's meant to be a little bit more comfortable. You can literally see how it's a little bit smoother here as opposed to a little bit more rigidness on the side. I'm interested to see how that's going to actually perform, especially with chalk being a little bit slick. The handle feels to be similar to what a competition kettlebell is, which is around like 33 millimeters in diameter. It's not too big like some of the newer or more generic kettlebells like this are. And then lastly, the machine bottom finish doesn't seem to be that prevalent in this bell. Some bells have that really flat finish, which help them sit really flat. I think maybe either the vinyl coating is causing this bell to sit a little bit unevenly, or if it's just not molded fully flat on the bottom. But either way, it doesn't sit the flattest. It's not a huge deal, but that is a performance feature that's going to come along with this construction. All right, so now for the performance test. We're going to be using Russian kettlebell swings with and without chalk to see how the handle and grip performs. Pretty good. They make the handle a little bit smoother in the middle, and I could see where they make it for the beginner strength athlete so it doesn't tear up the hands. I thought it performed pretty well. It wasn't too slick. So now we're going to try some chalk. Chalk was pretty good. I think it actually made it a little bit slicker on the smoother part. I could see where it's a little bit grippier at the start, but I could see if I got sweaty that this smooth handle would actually kind of make it a little bit tougher to grip. All in all though, it performed pretty well, both with and without chalk. It's a little bit slicker with chalk, but not to the point where I think it could truly hinder performance, but it's something to keep in mind. Okay, so now let's talk price. For this kettlebell, you can expect to pay around $105. That's a little bit on the higher end for kettlebells at 50 pounds or 24 kilograms and 53 pounds for that matter. All right, so a couple pros I liked about the SPRI kettlebell is one, I like the vinyl coating. I think that could be beneficial for, let's say, the beginner strength athlete who's not used to metal hitting their wrist, or even somebody who wants to work out at home and is worried the kettlebell is going to scrape up their floor or even dink up the kettlebell. And two, I like the handle. I like that it's a little bit thinner. I like that it's a little bit more comparable to a competition kettlebell or a performance kettlebell. It doesn't have that big wide grip that some of these more vinyl coated or generic kettlebells can have. And those, I think, are my two favorite pros about this kettlebell. All right, so in terms of cons, I could see two potential issues folks having. One, this is a little bit more expensive of a kettlebell, especially for a 50-pound weight. If you want a cheaper kettlebell, then I would recommend shopping around. And then lastly, I like how thick the handle is, but I don't like how they made it a little bit smoother. They make it a little bit more comfortable for the hand, but I think that's actually a little bit counterproductive for the use of chalk on the kettlebell. It can make it a little bit more slick, but that's something to keep in mind. Granted, a lot of beginners aren't going to be using chalk, but it's still something to note about performance. Okay, so now who could benefit with this kettlebell? In reality, almost every strength athlete could benefit with some form of kettlebell training if it's programmed correctly. But when it comes to this kettlebell, two populations I think could benefit. One, the home gym owner who's worried about denting their garage floor, or maybe they want to work outside and they're worried about the kettlebell being a little bit harsh on the ground when they're setting it down. This vinyl coating makes it pretty easy to do so it's not going to be as much wear and tear on the bell and the floor itself. And then lastly, I think the beginner for kettlebell movements could benefit with this kettlebell. The handle's a little bit smoother, so it doesn't beat up the hands as much. Also, that has the vinyl coating, which is nice for somebody whose wrist might not be used to taking impact from, let's say, a snatch or a clean with the kettlebell. So I think beginners and home gym owners could benefit with this kettlebell. That concludes my review of the SPRI Kettlebell. To read more of my thoughts on the pros, cons, price, and who could benefit, visit us at barbend.com or Google SPRI Kettlebell and Barbend.